So you are welcome back to my YouTube video, and now I'm going to be talking about how the Laplace transform of a constant, when the function of time is a constant, how the Laplace transform was derived. And as we know, the Laplace transform of a function k, you might have actually seen it as k over s. So now, how was k over s derived? That is what we are going to be talking about in this video. Stick with me. So now, um, this is the basic form of Laplace transform here. So what you just have to do is k here is the function of time. So we just impute the function of time into this equation right here. So we just integrate we just do integration, yeah, integration from infinity to zero, yeah. Now the function of time here is equals to k, like function of time is equals to k, yeah. So we just put k times e raised to power minus st dt. So then after we're done with this, then we continue. So after we're done with this, now we know that in basic integration, let's say we have to find for the integration of something like 2x squared. It is easy for us to say that we can bring the 2 outside and to become 2 times the integration of x squared. Either way, it is going to give us the exact same thing. So k being a constant, that is k is not a function of time in any manner, we can bring k outside of the integral sign right here, and that is what we are going to be doing. So right here we are going to be putting k, then the integral from infinity to zero, then we have e raised power minus st dt. Using basic integration techniques, like when you have the integration of e raised power minus st, you are going to differentiate whatever e is raised to power and divide it by the e raised power minus st as it initially is. So here we are going to be having this equals to k, then we open brackets, we have e raised power minus st divided by minus s. So this is just basic integration techniques, and that's that. Now we do not forget our infinity to zero. So now another thing that you need to take note of is the fact that s is also a constant. It's just like you are having e, just like having e raised power minus 2t over minus 2. This is exactly what this looks like. And minus s here is a constant. It is not a function of time in any way, unless it is multiplied by t, unless it is multiplied by time itself. So since minus 2 is here, we can also bring minus 2 outside of the bracket, since what we are dealing with is the value of t from infinity to zero. So let's do that quickly. Let's do that quickly. So we are going to be having here, we can have k over minus s in this particular manner. Then in our bracket here, we have e raised to power minus st from infinity to zero. So we have to do some quick maths, a little bit of to remind us of some things. First of all, we all know that if we have something like x raised to power minus 2, x raised to power minus 2 is the same thing as 1 over x squared in this particular manner from basic mathematics principles. So that way, we can assume that this negative here can also mean that it is 1 over, we will have this as k over minus s, and in our bracket, 1 over e raised power s t from infinity to 0. So now, in this particular manner, we have broken it down to the point whereby we can start imputing our values of infinity and 0. So now, we impute our values, we are going to be having k over minus s from, now, when this is infinity, we have 1 over e raised to power s times infinity. Now, what you need to know is that 2 times infinity is equals to infinity, 1 million times infinity is equals to infinity. In any manner, whatever that is multiplied by infinity will also give you infinity, unless it's something like zero. In that's when you get some you get that's when you get it is that's when it is not able, that's when it gets out of hand. So s times infinity, I'm just going to be saving you the stress. We're just going to be writing it as e raised to power infinity. So you might have seen it in some textbooks. From here they just put the infinity value here, ignoring the fact that s was actually there initially. So the reason why is because s multiplied by infinity is equals to infinity. And now moving to the zero, we have minus 1 over, and in this particular case too, we can say e is equals to s times 0, but we know that s times 0, whatever times 0, 10 times 0, 200 times 0 is equals to 0, right? So that means we can just easily go through the shortcut of putting e raised to power 0 in this place. And if we put this, now we can simplify it a little bit. We move on to this equals to k over minus s, then in bracket e raised to power infinity is equals to infinity. So therefore we are going to be having 1 divided by infinity. Or let me just bring it up here. Let me just bring it up here. We have k over minus s. We have 1 over e raised to power infinity minus 1 over e raised to power 0. 1 over e raised to power 0 in this particular manner. So since we have this right here, then we just put e raised to power infinity is equals to infinity. We have k over minus s times 1 over infinity. 1 over infinity minus 1 over, now in this particular case, anything raised to power 0 is equals to 1. This is the basic indices principle that a lot of us know often. So we just do 1 over 1. And also we need to know another thing, that whatever is divided by infinity is equals to 0. So we just continue as k over minus s. 1 divided by infinity is equals to 0. Whatever divided by infinity is equals to 0, and we have minus 1. So from here, this is going to end up being minus k over minus s, the minus can multiply with minus, and we are going to have this as k over s as our final answer. I hope you understand how we got this.